offense at first play of the year starts us that way.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fairview Yellow Jackets coaching show. I am Chris Hughes, the head coach at Fairview High School, and with me today is Daniel Raynes, our senior quarterback and cornerback, and one of the leaders on our team. Daniel is with me today because Fairview went to East Robertson Friday night, and we had a victory 41-27, in which Daniel scored 5 touchdowns for the Yellow Jackets. So he is here to talk about the game with me and talk about the season, how things are going. East Robertson was a very athletic team, very talented. We were able to score a lot of points, do a lot of things good. We can do a lot of things better, and we will. But I wanted to ask a few questions to Daniel about his take on how things are going, so we'll start there. Daniel, welcome. What was your overall take of the first game of the season?
Well, anytime you walk into a hostile environment like East Robertson's and come out with a 14-point win, I think you had to do something right. So I think it was a very good first game for us, and we have a lot of room for improvement, like you said. So
right.
I think we did well.
Okay, and that was my opinion too. They had some key players that helped them. One comes to mind. What number would you say?
Probably number 3.
Number 3, the running back. He was very hard to tackle, very hard to bring down. They had another guy, wide receiver, number 5, and Daniel actually shut him down pretty much the whole game. He had a couple of screen plays he broke for a few yards, but nothing really big. This is a tough question for you since the coach is sitting here with you, but I want to know how you feel about our new system. The veer is totally different from a wide open spread offense that we're running. So give me your feelings about it, and honesty. You won't be punished for any honesty. How things are going, how you like the new system.
Well, I actually like the new spread offense. It gives you a chance to do a lot of different things, and if you have the right players in the right positions, you can score a lot of points and have a lot of productivity with it. So.
We did that week 1, huh?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Daniel did a great job of running our offense. Made a lot of good calls, a lot of good runs, a lot of good throws. And if he continues to play like that, this should be a very exciting and productive year. Next question, Daniel, I want to talk about the overall grade of the play of our team in 3 areas. We're going to break it down the entire game, and we'll start, and you're always being graded by your teachers, so now you get to give the coaching staff and the Yellow Jacket team a grade. We'll take a letter grade on 3 areas, and we'll start with special teams. What do you think the grade there was?
Well, we did a real good job this game on special teams. We actually pinned them deep into their own territory, a couple kickoffs. We had one really good kickoff return of our own, and then again, they actually had one good kickoff return on us. So overall, I'd probably give us a B+ on special teams.
B+. We'll probably take that for our first game on special teams. Special teams is very important, and we're lucky to have 2 very good kickers in Tyler Emler and Caleb Duke. They are good kickers and punters. We didn't get a lot of punting action, but Tyler Emler kicked it into the end zone 2 or 3 times, I'm not sure. That makes them go 80 yards to score, and that's really tough to do. Let's talk about offense. How do you think our offense did in this game?
Well, we had a lot of guys moving around really quick, and we scored 41 points. And we had a lot of execution on big plays and a lot of productivity, as I said. So I'd have to go with an A for offense in this game.
A. We want to get to the A+, but I'll take an A for the offense. I will say this about it, too, and Daniel was involved in this as well. A lot of big third down conversions. We had throws for big plays on third downs, catches for big plays. I can remember a couple of catches by Alex Gurchin, Ethan Cassidy. I remember a couple runs by Daniel, Bobby Bach. So we had a lot of things happen and a lot of the blocking that let us do that. So I think A for the offense is great for this game, but we still want to try to improve on that. Defensively, I know it was a challenging game defensively, Daniel. What do you think the overall grade was for the defense?
Well, East Robertson did put up 27 points against us. Our defense came through big in the second half, only letting them score once. So I'd probably give us a C+ on this game for defense.
C+. Coach Simmons was not happy, our defensive coordinator. However, we made some halftime adjustments. In the second half, they only were able to score 1 touchdown. That was huge because the first half, no one punted. The game went, Fairview scored, East Robertson scored, Fairview scored. We went in with a 7-point lead, but it was only because we had the ball last, and you were able to score that touchdown to give us the lead. So I do think we need to work on our defense. This next game against East Hickman next Friday is going to be, we're really going to focus on our defense and try to stop East Hickman from scoring at all. So that's a pretty good overview of what happened in the first game. Like I said, we won the game 41-27, but East Robertson was able to make a lot of plays. They're very talented and athletic and well coached. So it was a challenge, and it was also our first game. We're still learning also, players and coaches as well. So let's look at a couple of plays from the game. There's 6 plays in particular that were kind of big plays that stood out to the coaching staff. And so we're just going to walk through those. I'm going to talk about them. We'll look at the screen, and then I'll let Daniel break them down. So let's look at this first play, our first offensive play of the year. We went with a reverse pass back to Daniel. Actually, you're going to watch Bobby Bach catch a pitch from Daniel. He'll hand to Alex Gerchen. Gerchen will throw back to Daniel Raynes, and Ethan will lead the way downfield blocking for a 44-yard gain on the first play. So let's look at that, Daniel, and you kind of talk us through right here.
I put Bobby in motion, pitched him the ball. It came back around to Alex, and he swung the ball out to me. And I just seen open field ahead of me, made a couple moves, and got 44 yards on the pickup.
That's a great first play of the year. All right. So Daniel's excitement right there also, you saw. He was clapping, and I think it got us the momentum we needed.
Yeah,
Once
set
we,
the tone.
It did set the tone, and we took off from there. Second play I want to look at is our first touchdown of the season. So these are all first for me since this is my first head high school coaching job, and I was real excited. But on this first touchdown run, we actually froze the defense, and then we decided to run a quarterback power behind Ethan. Daniel takes it up the middle, and you're going to see a really good spin move, and I'm going to let him walk you through this. Go ahead, Daniel. Take it from here.
It was just a simple Q44. It was a power up the 4-hole.
Good
couple
spin.
guys missed some tackles, and I just took advantage of it and got 28 yards.
And a touchdown. Again, really good moves. Daniel's very shifty in the midst of running between linebackers, and it looks like the Yellow Jackets, as a team, we did a good job of blocking on that. But they actually missed some tackles. In fact, Coach Chapman, head coach at East Robertson, had made a comment that it was probably the worst game tackling his team had ever had. I want to think that's because the Yellow Jackets are pretty shifty when they're running, and not that they just had a bad game. The third thing I want to look at was a kick return. They had a kick return that set them up in good position to score. And the first half went like this: touchdown Fairview, touchdown East Robertson, touchdown Fairview, touchdown East Robertson. 4 times we scored in a row. East Robertson scored 3 times, and there were no punts in the first half. And you won't find many high school games where you don't see a punt in the first half. Exciting for the fans, causes the coaches a little stress on the sideline. You'll see it right here. Daniel, I'll let you talk about Bobby's return because he did a good job too. So East Robertson's about to kick off. Go ahead, Daniel.
Well, it was a nice boot downfield by number 5. Bobby catches it on the hop. He sees an open window and dashes right through it, and actually makes a couple people miss, and it's a really great return. Set us up inside their territory deep, and we had a great chance to score, and we did. So.
I believe that was your 3rd touchdown after that. So we did a good job there. The offense was really looking good, and our defense was having trouble stopping number 3. As we got on into the game, and we had to make some key conversions on 3rd down. One of the plays coming up was, I like to show plays where a kid gives a lot of individual effort. I don't think you'll see anyone do more by themselves. We have a great team, but sometimes when things break down, Ethan Cassidy is really hard to tackle on the offensive side, and he makes a lot of plays on the defensive side as well. So we're going to see right here, we're going to run a screen pass to Ethan Cassidy. Now, Daniel does a good job of keeping it low where only Ethan can catch, but one of the things about this play is we called it, and it was not open. So what happens is Ethan's going to make a catch and just break tackles and give a great effort to get us a 1st down on 3rd and about 11, something like that. I'll let Daniel break it down exactly as it happens.
Well, this was a big play in the game. We had a 3rd and long, and Ethan right here had a guy all over his back. He makes the catch, makes another guy miss, and takes it downfield for just the right amount of yards to keep the drive alive, and I think it put us up by 2 scores. So.
I think you ended up scoring your 4th touchdown after that. So that was, or 5th, it may have been.
It was a really big play.
It was a big play, and Ethan gave really good individual effort. The next play kind of symbolizes what Daniel was talking about with our offense. This was actually his 5th touchdown, and it came on an audible. For those of you that don't know a lot about football, an audible is when the coach calls one play and he gives the quarterback the freedom, if he sees that that play will not work, to change it at the line of scrimmage. Daniel did that this game to perfection, I would say. And I don't think he'll always do that, but I do think right now he's got a good feel of on-field presence and what he needs to do to make our offense click. This time, I'm going to let Daniel kind of tell you what happened. We had a play call with Ethan running the ball to the left side behind a lead block of Bobby Bach. As we get to the lead block, Daniel is going to see that the defense shifts out, and I'm going to let him take it from here and explain how this works. Go ahead, Daniel.
Well, I see the guys come out and actually call out our play, so I just tapped Zane on the back and just did a QB sneak right up the gut and picked up 12 yards and my 5th touchdown. So it put us in real good position to win the game.
This gave us the breathing room we needed. It's pretty much from this point on, it was our game to lose. We had a 2-touchdown lead, comfortable enough that the defense started playing a lot better. A little less pressure on the defense when we've got a lead. So the last play I want to look at, and I want to talk about Caleb Duke, Daniel, because it's kind of weird having a kicker, and Caleb is a good kicker, but he's also maybe the fastest kid on the team. Would you say that's accurate? No?
He might be.
Daniel thinks he can outrun him. But anyway, I think it'd be a good race. We might have to do that. But anyway, Caleb is very fast for a kicker. So we put Caleb in to run a jet sweep, and I'm going to let Daniel kind of walk us through this. Caleb Duke had this carry right here. He goes 53 yards for a Yellow Jacket touchdown, and this made our score, gave us 39. We did a 2-point conversion to get to 41. Kind of ended our scoring, kind of summed up our night right here. And I'm going to let Daniel take it as he calls it out.
Well, I just put Caleb in motion, and it's a simple jet sweep right to the left side, and he's just explosive enough with his speed to break it right through their secondary and take it all the way down for a 53-yard touchdown. So.
Yeah, and he did run away from the defense right there. You'll see him celebrating with Alex Gerchen. Alex was fired up, as well as the rest of the team. So I thought the overall game was a good game to start with. I think we have a lot of areas that we need to improve on, and we will. I made some bad calls. We made some good calls. Daniel made really good reads. And I think from here we want to go. I don't know, do you have any personal goals for the season, Daniel? I kind of put you on the spot.
Well, obviously to win games, and I'd at least like to win 1 or 2 games in the playoffs. And,
okay. Well, a goal of mine and the coaching staff, just so you know, is to go farther or further. How do you say it? I'm not sure which is correct. PE teacher's not always the best grammatically, but we want to reach a higher level in the playoffs than ever before. Fairview's never been past the 2nd round. So my goal for you guys is to make it to the 3rd round minimal, and then our ultimate goal, Coach Simmons, is what?
Would be state championship.
State championship. That's where we're headed, and we want to get there. Hope we do it this year. Last comment I want to make is this was an away game, and it was so loud behind us where our home crowd was. Did you notice the noise?
Yeah.
I've never heard an away crowd with that much noise. I want to thank the fans for standing on their feet and cheering our boys on. And that energy they gave us probably pushed us over to win that game, because I will say East Robertson game, that game could have went either way. We could have definitely, we jumped on some loose balls that had we not jumped on, it may have been a different game. So thanks to the fans. Thanks to Bob King and the media crew for the great coverage. Mr. Anderson and Mr. French for the commentary, and all the students with the FMS Media that make this possible. And tune in again next week, and we'll have either an assistant coach or another player for the Fairview Yellow Jackets coaching show. Thank you.
Saber wide open, down to the center, across the 40, to the midfield. Breaks 1 tackle, breaks 2, down past the 40-yard line, inside the 40. First down, Yellow Jackets. As promised by Coach Chris Hughes, they are going to be exciting on offense, and first play of the year starts us that way.